Mythics. How are we all? Yes, it's another week, it's another Saturday, it's another 10:30 AM UK time. Well, I'm a little bit late, sorry about that, my timekeeping is a little bit atrocious. This is Grocklesnook, I'm Ken Boyter, and this little fly flying around, that is Dave. Oh, Dave. Yes, we are back, it's another Edra Tales live broadcast, live from the dungeon. We are in the dungeon, and yeah, there's been a little bit of an earthquake, as you can see. The dungeon wall has moved, so that's an interesting development. Hopefully I'll have it straightened out by the next live broadcast. Look, there's Dave. Did you see him? Here we are. Yeah, as you can tell, you know, we're officially, look, we're authentically in a dungeon. Look, we really are in a dungeon. As you can see, you've got flies flying around. I've not had a bath for months. Good morning, Sally. Good evening, Lirin. Yeah, he's in a good mood, actually. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Lirin. Look, I haven't even got an ironing board. You see? So I must be in a dungeon. Must be in a dungeon. Yes, you are watching Edra Scrolls, Ramblings of a Storyteller, and I do ramble on. This is... I do need to be tight on this one, because I've got to go off to a murder mystery. So, what have we been up to? What has everybody been up to? Have you had a lovely week? Or Wednesday? I probably saw you Wednesday. We did a live stream. Oh, I forgot to get the book. We are doing, yeah, we did a new game book live stream. We have just started, what's it called? League of Thieves. League of Thieves. It's another Osborne adventure game book, which is pretty cool. It's the third in the series. They've got another one out called Goblin's Revenge, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. Yeah, those folds in the rocks are authentic. They're not folds, Sally. I just explained. I think you came in a bit late. I just explained that we've had an earthquake here at the dungeon. So it's actually the walls just, you know, moved. So it's not. They're not. It's not folds. It's, you know, crumple. I've been watching a lot of Clarkson's Farm. I know a lot about walls now. Yeah, of course. There we go. Yeah. So we had a little mini earthquake, so hopefully by next time we do a live stream I'll have straightened it out, you know, I'll have chiselled it away a bit, done a bit of, you know, wall repairing. Now I know that Martha cannot make it today because she is off on a medieval quest. She's doing a medieval festival, which sounds fantastic, so hopefully she'll have a lovely time. And what have we been up to? What has everybody been up to? Hopefully you've had a lovely week. Yeah, let me know. Well, I know what Sally's been up to, but... Lyrian, what have you been up to? You've been swinging around any swords recently? Because I was going to wait until a few more people join, but maybe we won't get that many more people today. Hey, it's summertime. Why would people be indoors watching a live stream? Because I have had, you probably know, I've had the first half of this year has been intense. It's been massively, massively busy. I've had my interactive game show, stage show, to do with Dave. Dave. maybe that's why I called the fly Dave. Maybe you didn't see that. That was right at the beginning. It's worth getting here on time. Pot, kettle, black. So I've had the interactive stage show that I've been developing with Dave. And then, what else have I been doing? I've been working on the Crooked Crown. Look at this. This is a cellophaned one. If you were to buy it, this is exactly how it would look. Ooh. So I've been developing that. You know, we were briefing artists. You know, we were selecting artists, briefing artists, working with the publisher, getting the little figures correct, getting the Crooked Crown token correct, getting the board correct, getting all the artwork for the cards correct, all of that. So that still took a lot of time, even though the game, you know, was designed and nailed down, all the rules. Still quite a lot of work to go on a game. Then I also had my launch of my Elf Magic and Monkeys novel, which was pretty cool. Plus designing my murder mystery game, Devilish Deaths. Plus writing my game book, Devilish Dilemmas. And I'm sure I was up to other shenanigans as well. So this first half of the year, and then of course I was still acting in my Murder Mysteries, still doing my part-time job. So it's difficult, you know. It's not difficult. It's just intense. There will be the first Taiwanese historical medical martial arts festival. Keep it snappy. Held at the local tech university at the end of the month. Won't compete, but definitely go and have a look. Yeah, that sounds great though. Historical medical martial arts. So, let me unpack that, as they say. Martial arts, so it's all about karate, judo, whatever. But medical martial arts and historical. So what's a medical? Oh, medieval. Right, there you go. Okay, that makes more sense. I was thinking, how can they mix medical? Then I was thinking maybe it's looking back at what treatments were available in battle, you know, like the medics. What did they have if there was a big martial arts fight? Sounds niche, yeah, exactly. But medieval, it's still niche, but it opens it up slightly better. And it makes more sense. Historical medieval martial arts. That sounds cool. Absolutely. See what they were up to in the medieval times. You know, how has martial arts progressed in the last, 300, 400 years? Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds absolutely great. So I have been ridiculously busy. So my aim was just if I can get to the first weekend of June, which was the UK Games, and launch the Crooked Crown, then I'll have, I can take a breather because there's not any deadlines. Well, not really, not officially yet. So it's been quite nice just, with the pressure off a little bit. However, like an idiot, after UK Games, I was so inspired that I just thought, I'm going to carry on doing the games. So, and I had a game idea that I was going to do that was called Baby Birds. Baby Birds. And it's basically where you are playing, I think, your birds, and you're having to build nests, or you're conservationists. You're having to build nests for different birds, and you need to build the nest, encourage the mum and dad to settle in the nest. You need to get mum and dad first, then they build the nest, then they lay an egg, or 3 eggs, or 1 egg. I've got to work it out yet. Then you've got to hatch the egg, and then you've got to feed your chick. So that's sort of the game. And it's a card set collecting game. And you have to do, well, initially, 3 nests. You need to do that 3 times. But that might be too big a game. It might take too long. But that's the theory. It's because you've got, and then what you're going to do is there'll be dice. So when you roll a dice, there'll be custom dice, and there'll be a symbol that will match each card. So when you roll the dice, you take the card and then you place it in your tree area. So that sounds quite cool. And then also, I dreamt a game. Oh, there we go. Through veteran Chinese Shaolin Gu Fu masters, versed in acupuncture, anatomy and herbalism, are also more often than not called doctors as well. There we go. So that's the medical side of it right there. Yeah. Well, it is, it's very arrogant of the West to say, right, our chemical-based synthetic medicine is the best medicine, and, everything else is rubbish. It's very arrogant for the West to think that. Because you've got all these ancient herbalists and ancient, like say, acupuncturists that have got a set of knowledge that really should be looked at closely. And I suspect that a lot of the Western medicine has taken all of that knowledge and then just done it synthetically. So, I'm just saying. Right. So I've got this little game. I dreamt this game. I woke up with the game pretty much in my head, apart from adding the scoring system onto it. But basically, it's about bees. Look at this. It's called Around the Garden. It's a 20-minute tile game, and it's for 5+ because it's very simple. I think what had happened was, I did wonder, can you make a game where there's only one rule, and that's it? You know, whatever it is, it's just one rule, but yet you can still have a game out of it. And it's incredibly difficult to do, so I didn't even bother thinking about it. Then I woke up the next day or a couple of days later with this game in mind. Now, there is only 3 rules, so it's very close. So I thought, while it's fresh in my mind, I'd make it. I'd actually make the prototype, write all the rules out. So what I've got here is, we've got the hexagonal, because it's about bees, all the tiles are hexagonal. So the artwork I just grabbed off the internet, so this is just for the prototype. I'm not going to use this artwork, obviously, but this is just to give the publisher, when I pitch it, the publishers an idea of what it could look like. So you've got the hexagonal tile, you've got a stack of hexagonal tiles, and all you do is you simply take a tile on your go, and then you see where the arrow is. So that's a bee. And each player is a flower. And so the bees are looking to pollinate, you know, they're looking to feed, aren't they, on the nectar. So what you're doing is, you are giving the bees are sort of going elsewhere. So you are going to give this tile to wherever the arrow points. So this one is a diagonal left. So if it's up to 6 players, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That makes 6, doesn't it? So I would just give that to the person who's sitting diagonally left to me. Then it's the next person's go. And again, I might get one, so that I would be directly right to them. So if they had a right arrow, I would get 1 card. And so you could go around each go. Now, you might not get any cards just because of the way the arrows randomly come out. But you might get all of them, again, just the way that the arrows come out. So there's going to be an unequal distribution of the tiles to everybody. So you just keep going. You keep doing that. There's 78 tiles. And each one has a different score. It's different points. So you got 2 there, 5 on that one, 4 on that one. Basically 1 to 6 points. So you just keep doing that. And this is what I'm saying. It's for a 5-year-old, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old might find it enjoyable. But it's a family game. So you just keep drawing them until... Let's see if I can draw one. And these cards are very important to put in, because otherwise... Oh, there we go. It's a sunflower card. If you draw a sunflower card, it's -3 points. So the aim of the game is to be the person with the fewest points. Probably should have said that. So you don't want the points. That's why you're giving them away. But this says -3 on it. So you keep this one, you keep a sunflower card. And what that means is, at the end of this game, you will be -3 off of whatever score you have, or if you're on 0, it's a -3. Then, say you had a little tidy pile, you know, of cards that you've been given throughout the game, you then just distribute them out, following the arrows, to the other players. So you're resetting. In theory, your flower has been depleted of its nectar. There's too many bees that have come to you. So that is basically the game. And there's 12 of these out of the 78. I might have to put more in, I don't know. This is where you play test it and get the balance right. So, you just, and then you just keep going. So once all the cards have been distributed out from a sunflower, the next person goes, the next person goes. And then basically the game ends when the tiles run out, and then you count up your points, minusing any sunflowers, and the person with the fewest points wins. Ta-da! So that sounds like a very easy game, and I hadn't intended on creating this game. I just woke up with it in my head, and it comes close to basically just one rule. There's 3 rules. You shuffle the deck, you then take the top card, that's 2, maybe shuffling the deck's part of the setup. Sounds like there isn't any choice. Yes, no, that's right, Alex. It is just a game of luck. So the way I've advertised it is a gentle game of bees, sunflowers and luck. And I feel like, now I don't know this for a fact, this is just an idea, it's just and this is why you play test it, because I don't know how much fun this is going to be. It's for families. It's for, you know, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds. Now, what I think they will enjoy is the fact they're giving cards to other players, because it's like, yeah, you can have that, you can have that. Obviously, they're going to get cards, so it's all about who has the fewest cards, basically. And then there's that lovely mechanic where you then just take, if you get a sunflower, you can then distribute all your cards out again. So there's a sort of take that element to it. And I, having my limited experience with nieces and nephews and that kind of thing, they like it when they stitch their parents up. When we were demoing the Crooked Crown, oh, hello. When we were demoing the Crooked Crown, if there were kids playing, and with their parents, obviously, they always ambushed the parents. They pretty much said, right, you're going down 2 cards, you're going down 1 card. Pretty much that's what they love doing. So, I don't know. You just, sounds like the winner has already been decided once the cards have been shuffled. The winner is already decided, can't be changed. Well, that's a good point. So let's think about this. So, we've got various different directions. I have actually got the stats here. I won't necessarily bore you, but there are 11 1-point cards. There's 9 2-point cards. There's 10 3-point cards. There's 11 4-point cards, 12 5-point cards, 13 16-point cards. And then I've broken down how many out of all of that is a left arrow, right arrow, front arrow, diagonal arrow, okay? So I've tried to keep it even amongst the distribution. There are 12 sunflower cards. So I think, no, the winner is not determined because of the sunflower cards. Let's talk this through though. So you shuffle the cards. Obviously that's determined. Okay, so I've picked the first one. It's a 6-pointer. I've given that to the person opposite me because that said front. And you just keep doing that. So that's 4. So everybody should get a card. You know, they'll get cards during the game. Where it all shakes it up is where the sunflowers lie. So if I pick a sunflower, I then get all my cards and distribute them out. And that's another randomizer, because I don't, at the beginning of the game, we don't know what cards I'm going to have, you know, that I'm now distributing out. Does that make sense? So whereas they would have been determined because one card would have gone from one player. Yeah. So say I had 4 cards and then I got a sunflower. We'll keep it easy. I've got 4 cards that's been given to me. They're mine. They're my score at the end. I want the fewest amount of points. So I want to get rid of these cards. I get given a sunflower. No, I take a sunflower. -3. So then I can distribute these out. Now, do you see what I mean? One turn is distributing 4 cards. Whereas ordinarily, without that sunflower, these 4 cards would have gone to, you know, it's just 1 card per turn. Does that make sense? Or am I making that up? I feel like this is the randomizer. Because now I'm going, right, you get that card, you get that card, you get that. So the front person might have got 2 cards because I might have 2 front arrows. Does that make sense? I'm concerned by the lack of choice. Okay, Alex, I appreciate that. And I know that there's no choice. However, think about when you were 5 years old. Wasn't it fun? Because unless we do need to put one choice in, but I put the randomizer in because it will stop one player or all the players just ganging up on one person. I didn't want that. So this is my playtesting question. Do kids love not having any choice? It's just a game of luck. Or do they need a choice, at least one? So that is a good point. So yeah, but if you're, you know, if you're an adult, yeah, this isn't gonna do it for you because there is no choice. So yeah, what do you say to that? The only way, absolutely, Alex, the only way to see if it works is to play test it with 5, 6, 7-year-olds, which I do have access to, not in a dodgy way. So yeah, that is a very good point, but we'll see. It is interesting. Can you make a game of luck? Is there anything else that's a game of luck where you don't get a choice? Backgammon Ludo, also games of chance with random opportunity for simple strategy. Okay, thank you, Lerin. I've just thought of Snakes and Ladders. Snakes and Ladders. How much choice do you get on that? Snap, yeah. How much choice do you get on Snap? Snakes and Ladders, yeah. If it's aimed at kids, would it not be fun? The spin and throw each tile in the centre of the table, and whichever the player arrow points to gets the tile. Yeah, possibly, but again, that's still luck. That's no choice, is it? If I had to spin and throw each time, just throw it. The thing is with that is that you may not. Then there's variation. You might throw the tile and it doesn't actually point. It could point in between two players. Whereas I've very specifically said left, right, you know, the person in the middle of the left and right front one. So you've got left, right, front, and then the two diagonals are left diagonal, right diagonal if you're playing a 6-player game. It's a 3 to 6 player game. 2 player, you know. You could play with 2 player, but I don't know how fun that would be. So, but do you see what I mean? That's still luck, isn't it? Because if you're throwing it in, unless you're trying to throw it somewhere, I guess there's a degree of skill if you definitely want it to go somewhere. Unless you said 5 plus players, 3 to 6 players. But ages 5 plus, so they're ages. So it's for 5-year-olds because it's a game of chance. There's not a lot of choice. Well, there's no choice. It's like they will be able to cope with this because they're literally picking it up. They're following directions, and it's nice going. Yeah, look, I got rid of a 6 points there. I don't get those 6 points. You get those 6 points. I'm bringing out the worst in kids, and that's what games should be about. Sorry, I'm not being more positive, but honestly, here's more helpful. Here is a more. No, Alex, don't worry about being negative. It's good. I like when people go, yeah, but hang on, what about this? What about this? What about this? Because then the game improves. Absolutely. If there's 3-player, who gets which cards? That is a very good point. So if there's 3 players, yeah, I hadn't really worked this bit out yet. So again, that's a weakness in the game. So if there's 3 players, what you could do with a 3-player then, yeah, any card where the arrow does not land on, so say it's a 3-player, you've basically got a left and a right. You could say it's a left and a right. Any other cards, so diagonal left or front, goes in the middle of goes next to the main stack, yeah, face up. Then whoever draws the sunflower can pick those up and distribute them out. How about that? Each hive at the moment has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Which why it kind of works because I've put. I'll show you. So you got the left arrow. Well, I think it's showing you that that's right. So graphically it works out because you've got each one. So left goes there, diagonally left goes there, front goes there, diagonally right goes there, and then right goes there. Is this all theory, or have you playtested? No, I haven't playtested it yet. Yeah, this is what I mean, Alex. Yeah, I have not playtested it, which is why it's an interesting concept at the moment. But the kids might play it and go, that was boring. I can't do any decisions. It's pure luck. But I don't know if 5-year-olds really think like that. Maybe sometimes oh, okay, maybe maybe some tiles to put a third tile in. So you got the bee tile, you got the sunflower tile. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, you could have a hive tile. It's a picture of a beehive. I'm just thinking. Anyway, but yeah, you could just have a random, a wild, so you can choose who gets it. Okay, yeah, I quite like that idea. Because then there's at least a choice at some point during the game. Adhere to the literal honeycomb motif in its literal structure. Yes, exactly. You've cottoned on. That's why. Initially I had the cards just normal, rectangular. And I thought, no, come on. Look at these. And they were cards. Whereas if you get nice little chunky tiles, especially with a 5-year-old, it's like, hey, cool. I'm hoping they get excited by the shape as well. A one-rule game will be difficult to make and possibly boring. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. But it just crossed my mind because I thought, because what I experienced at UK Games is the Crooked Crown, as you know, if you've got the game, it's a very quick game to kind of learn and play. It's 20 minutes, and there is quite a lot of nice strategy in it. But there's a lot of, there's luck because you're taking the cards, you don't quite know what cards you're going to get. So it's a bit of mixture there, and that's the balance. So I was thinking, okay, let me go for a simplistic style of game again. Because my brain automatically wants to go complicated. I like sort of more heavy 3-hour games. So I'm kind of going, right, what game can I... So I thought, is it possible to have a one rule game? I guess with Snakes and Ladders, there's 2 rules. You go up a ladder and down a snake. So that's close. I guess you're rolling the dice. So that's 3 rules. So again, Snakes and Ladders have got 3 rules. Still, few rules games can be deceptive complex in their seeming economic... Yeah, exactly. Checkers. Precisely. Checkers. Where every piece can become a queen that can move in direction. Yeah, exactly. Only move forwards. Yes. Checkers. I have no problem with luck. Luck is good for game, but not all luck. Yes, no, I appreciate that, and this is where I need to play test it. Because what I might do is play test it as it is with pure luck, just like pure honey. But then also, I do like the fact that, sprinkled in there should be tiles that will have no arrow on them. Maybe question mark. Put a question mark on it. Yeah, a confused bee. Maybe it's a confused bee. So you go, right, it's lost its way. A lost bee. A lost bee. And then they can play it to anyone they like. Yeah, I like that. That's a great idea. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, I need to play test it, in all honesty. Or watch a playthrough video. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the thing. This is part of the lovely journey of creating a board game or a card game. Writing a bit of music or writing a novel, whatever, whatever creative you're doing, you've got an idea, you have an idea, you write it down, you then tweak it a bit, you change it a bit, you think, should I add this, should I not? And then with a board game, obviously the next stage is once you think you've got the rules, you then go, right, well, I don't know if this works or not. Let's find out. Does anybody find it fun? Does it work? Is it broken? Is there a loophole? So hence why you then create the prototype. I've just printed these out, on a home printer basically, so it's not really cost me much. And then the next stage is to play test it. Absolutely, Alex. But not only play test it with one group, you need to play test it obviously with a few other groups as well. I have so many prototype games I've designed in my cupboard. I enjoy designing. Oh, do you, Alex? Oh, I didn't know that about you. There you go, Alex. There you go. Have you actually submitted any to anybody? Because, there's every chance that your games could get out there, unless you've already got them out there. And I'm being incredibly ignorant. Not yet. You should think about it. And if you want to DM me, if you are serious in doing this, I mean, and I've been learning off Kedrick, you know, the co-designer of the Crooked Crown. I've been learning off him. He's mentoring me in a way. You know, it's good to do a pitch sheet. So this is the pitch sheet where you have the overview of the game, the aim of the game. I sometimes put the play in. Not always in this much detail, but because the game is very, very simple, it's not taking up a lot of space. And then I sort of describe what you know, the players should, in this case, in theory, what they fear when they're playing it. Then you got the selling points, the components, and then my contact my contact details. I always end up making huge games, but simple is the way to go to begin with. Yes, absolutely. My cousin Gavin, he started out making this big game that was very complicated. It took us 3 hours to play. Now that's fine, but the payoff wasn't a 3-hour game, if you see what I mean. We hardly did anything. But he was coming from the old school way of thinking of roll and move, and you miss a turn and you have to roll a 6 to, you know, definitely get there. And it was all just a bit old school, because that's kind of what he grew up on. So I then said, right, we need to go to UK Games Expo. So this was not the one just gone, but last year I think it was, or the year before. I think it was 2 years ago. And it just blew his mind, because all these different games that are now out there. Yeah, roll and move, miss it. Yeah, it's old-fashioned, you know. That's where they were back in the 70s and 80s, possibly even the 90s. But now things have moved on. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. So this just came to me in a dream, and I thought, right, I didn't plan on sort of creating a new board game or card game, but this just came out. So I thought, well, I might as well try it. It could be too simplistic. I do like the idea. In fact, I like it so much, Alex, I'm going to write it down as a possible idea. Could have one type of card where player chooses who it goes to. Then you could have 12 of those, maybe. I mean, again, I'll have to look at the balance. Or 8 of those, maybe 8 of these. I don't know, I'll have to look at the balance. So there you go. These days, setting up a game can take almost as long as playing a game if you don't, out of the box on the day. And not to set up the night before. Yeah, absolutely, Lurin. Yeah, I've been there, definitely. Talisman, with all the expansions that I've got, the 4th edition, can take me an hour, at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half to set up. Dead of Winter can take at least 30 minutes to set up. What else? Oh, yeah, there's other games. I'm just trying to look at my games in the dungeon, obviously. They allowed me some games just to pass the time. With Gockle Snooker me, he always beats me. Yeah, look, there you go. Civilization resource management games that are waiting ton are guilty of this. Yeah, particular. Absolutely. Maybe a particular card that is spun to see where it goes. Well, you could. Yeah, but again, though, that would still be luck, wouldn't it? Because you're not choosing. So, hello. Yeah, you look up twice. Yeah, you look up twice, and it's morning with those games. Yeah, hello. I unfortunately can't pronounce your name. Rajin? I might just... Raz? Is it Raz? Raj? Raz. Let's go with Raz. I got there in the end. Thank you. Good to see you again. I'm sure... Have you been watching before? I can't remember. My brain is like a sieve. But anyway, welcome. Good. And thanks for that little comment there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's fun for kids, and you might even get it yourself. You're a newbie. Oh, well, welcome. Welcome, Raz. You are most welcome. Yeah, we're just talking about... So, I don't know if you know anything about me, but I've just had a card game published that was co-designed by myself and my board gaming mentor, Kedrick Winks, The Crooked Crown. So that was just launched at the UK Games Expo. It's by Cheatwell and Outset. So Cheatwell and Outset. If you're in the UK, I would go onto the Cheatwell website if you want to look it up. Or if you're in America and Canada, go to the Outset, outsetmedia.com. So this was just launched at UK Games Expo. And I was just saying, I had a dream. And I dreamt up a very simple game about bees and honey and sunflowers and luck. So we were just debating whether, and so it's for ages 5 plus, so 5, 6, 7-year-olds, maybe 8-year-olds might still find it fun. But can a game just be pure luck? The irony. Because I'm looking into keeping bees. Are you? I was going to say. Well, there you go. That's a sign. That is a sign from the universe. Right there. Oh, I'd love to keep bees. That would be amazing. Have you been watching, do you get access to the TV programme Jeremy Clarkson's Farm, or Clarkson's Farm? Because he started to keep bees. Yeah, so, and I love honey. Absolutely love honey. In fact, I've got honey in my tea right now. So yeah, I've created a game that at the moment is pure luck, and we were just debating whether or not that's enjoyable even for a 5-year-old if you have no agency, if you have no choice. I think they wouldn't mind if they don't have any choice, but again, with any game design, you just then need to play test it. So that's where I am with this game. I do like the fact that Alex suggested having one type of card where the players choose where they go, because at the moment the arrows dictate who gets the card, and it's the player who has the fewest points. And there's a sunflower card that if you get the sunflower card, it's -3 points, so you want it, and then you can distribute all the cards that you've been given out to the other players. So again, it is a game of luck. However, if you had a card, I think so, if you had a card where you chose where it went, at least you've got one little choice that will come up. Maybe I need to put more of those in. So there we go. That's that one then. So that was one little board game I wasn't expecting to do. Yeah, I've called it Around the Garden. For small children with no skill, luck is key to a good time. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. I wondered that. I mean, I've not played too many games with small children, apart from when I was, when I've got a son, so when he was a kid. But I kind of weaned him onto Talisman as early as possible. But Talisman does have quite a lot of luck. It's kind of like roll move, isn't it? And then you pick to see what you do on the card. But there is choices you can make. So I think I started playing when he was about 6 or 7, probably about 7. So there's that. And then the other game that we've been working on is Guildlands. And that, I don't want to talk too much about this because I have done in the past, talked about it. But that's another tile laying game that Kedrick and I are developing. That is more complex. It's so much more complex. So we think it's probably 12 plus, maybe. Yeah, probably ages 12 up. And there's a lot of choices. There's only one aspect of luck in that game. Fate was a great addition to Talisman. Yeah, to my gate rolls. Yeah, Fate was excellent. I really liked it on the 4th edition where you had Fate, because at least you could go, all right, I'm re-rolling that to negate a bit of luck. Yeah, I like that. In fact, let's talk about my game book. So I'm writing a game book, Devilish Dilemmas, and I'll let you into a little secret. I think I've said this before. I wanted to do a Talisman game book. And so I'd written a sample of it, and I sent it off to the people that make Talisman or who own the license, and I didn't get anywhere. Not surprising. They don't know me. I'm not a famous name. I'm not an established game book writer. I'm not an established board game designer or anything like that. But what I also didn't know is they were gearing up to do the 5th edition of Talisman. So... yeah, the adorable Osborne-style illustrated beads would absolutely grab a young child's attention. Yes, this is it. It's a cute game. You just make it cute. It's bees. They know what bees are. It's fun. There's, you know, the parents aren't going to get, you know, they know it's a safe game for kids. Absolutely, that's what you want. Nice bright bees, sunflowers, that kind of thing. So I wrote a sample of the talisman one. Then I decided, right, I'm getting nowhere trying to make it a talisman game book, because imagine that, a talisman series of game books. That would have been amazing. So I've converted this, well, the talisman idea I had, into this, which is Devilish Dilemmas is the book series, an Edra Tales game book. To Kill a Thief is the first in the book, and first in the series, I should say, and I'm going to kickstart this in October. So because I've written a sample, I've modified the sample that I wrote for the talisman and used this. Hence, there are a bit of, hey Jonathan, we are just talking about game books, and look who should appear, Ace Game Books. Jonathan is one of the leading, I'm going to say this, and it's true, one of the leading writers in game books that we have. Jonathan has written several of the original Fighting Fantasy books, and also his own series of game books called Ace Game Books. And he's written for other IP such as Doctor Who, Warhammer, and others. And he's also just had a new book out to do with Arkham Horror. I never know what it's called. The Acolyte of Arkham Horror. No, Acolyte Books. Johnny Boy is doing pretty good. Johnny Boy is doing... Do you know Jonathan? Do you know Jonathan? Forgive me, Raz, if you know me and I'm being really slow and I don't know you. You don't know Jonathan. Yeah, Johnny Boy is doing really well. He is doing really well. But yeah, what was it? Arkham Horror? The jam sandwich of Arkham. Is that your latest game book, Jonathan? Put a link up. Put a link up. There you go. I can never pronounce that. Acolyte Books. The Darkness Over Arkham. There it is. Perfect Stranger. It's impressed. Well, yeah. Yeah, I was impressed. So we're very lucky to know Jonathan. As we're lucky to know everybody. You know, I'm very blessed knowing all these lovely people. So I've been working on this. So this is my dilemma. So in this game, you play a thief, because I thought in the talisman, why not play the thief? I quite like playing the thief. It's like a little rogue, isn't he? Lyrin's put, I noticed that Fighting Fantasy and Gamebook alumni from the 90s tend to be very fond of demolishing airships and zeppelins. Why not? Why not? I guess the imagery at school when they were learning about the First World War. Well, where I live in Hertfordshire, apparently there were zeppelins going over Hertfordshire, which is bonkers. Yeah, so you play a thief in this one, and I do have fate. I have fate. I have directly stolen from Talisman. No, I haven't. I haven't. It's just a coincidence. But I've also put in my own mechanisms in there as well. I've got an alignment, so you can be true, honest, neutral, shady, or corrupt. You've got experience points. Yeah, they're a little bit like Talisman. But you gain experience points. When you have 5, you can then level up your character. And you can do that by adding it to your abilities, or you can add your experience point to the Thieves Guild progress track. That means you go up ranks as well. A sinking sea ship. Is that just for us? Yeah, every time. So, Raz, if you're unaware, we do a live stream of game books every Wednesday at 6:30. And pretty much every time we get on a ship, no matter what game book it is, if we're on a ship, we will die. It's just the way it goes. I love the concept of airships. There's nothing positive about about big fuel field target. Absolutely dangerous as all hell. There you go. Yeah, so Jonathan's put his link in there if you want to check out Jonathan's latest book. Yes, I've got Fate, Allure, which is the magic. You can find incantation scrolls. Because you're a thief, you don't really delve into magic. However, in my world of Edra, there's incantation scrolls that you read. They're one-off and then they just crumble. But you can cast that spell. But you have to have a certain amount of allure to cast each different spell. Then you got fettle, you got metal, you got vigor. So yeah, I won't really go into it too much more. But that is what I'm trying to do. Kickstarting this in October. Taking a leaf out of Jonathan's books, out of Jonathan and what he does, he kickstarts. So hopefully we can get that funded. What else? Oh yeah, and then, okay, here's my dilemma. What should I do? Talking of big games in development, this game is my Devilish Deaths, and it's a murder mystery board game. And I've made the prototype. I don't know if I've shown you this before. I think I have. So this is the board. It's talisman size board. There you go. So around the edge you've got all the witnesses. Yeah, all the witnesses. And then you've got other cards like clues, forensics, detection power, hunch, hint cards. You've got other things like that. You also got prestige, and then in the middle is all the locations that you as amateur sleuths will go around and investigate. I love a murder mystery game. Yeah, oh, there you go, Alex. Fantastic. So this does take about 2.5 hours, 3 hours play. But I play tested it once and it went down really, really well. It was a 3-player game. You know, they get better than Clue already. Yeah. Well, I'm going to kind of say it's like Cluedo or Clue. You must. That's given me a clue. You must be from America then, Raz, because we call it Cluedo in the UK. You see, my detective skills are second to none. Shut up, Watson. Shut up, Holmes, you buffoon. Yeah, so it's more complicated. But yeah, it was a 3-player playtest, and they really got involved. They were really going, yeah, but hang on, didn't she say she was over here at the time of the murder? And didn't this, you know, and you know what it's like. And it's so fascinating. I didn't think I'd get this much enjoyment just watching them playtest it. Obviously, I can't join in and playtest it with them because I know I wrote the murder. I know who's done it. But just to see them working it all out, and better still, I had 2 things I wanted to playtest. One, the mechanics of the game, does it work? And it's a big thumbs up, yes. I had to tweak a few things. But also the case itself, does it make sense? Did they pick up on the clues that I wanted them to? Were they, you know, was it too easy? Was it too hard? Etc, etc. So they got the correct murderer, but they didn't quite get how they did it. So I'm quite happy with that, because so what I've now done is I just need to put a few, or I think I've done it, put a few new clues in to really firm up how they did it. Elementary, good cockle-snook. Yeah, look at him, get him a pipe. I just live where the dead vote. It could be anywhere. Are you part of the living dead? I'm too good at Cluedo. There, I said it. Well, I'll let you into a little secret. I don't think I've played Cluedo too many times. I remember we didn't have it as a kid. We had like Monopoly and Buckaroo and the Jaws game with the shark, and you put stuff in his mouth. Oh no, you take stuff out of his mouth and then it snaps down. No, just with the bando music is deafening. Okay. I will try and deliver you from that problem. I think we're on the same wavelength there. Have you played 221B Baker Street? Yes, I have played 221B Baker Street, and that is better than Cluedo, obviously as an adult. However, I still have problems with 221B Baker Street as well. It's not as exciting as I thought it was going to be, and I did play it as a kid because my brother had it. But it's still being sold. It's still being sold. Have you played? I haven't. So that's really the extent of... Oh, Chronicles of Crime. I have I'm not sure what it was called. It might be that one. But there's this new spate of games where you basically just get a plastic bag full of evidence. And they're all just individual bits of paper. There was a bar mat in one. There was this, that, and the other. And it took us 3 hours to play. But again, we really enjoyed it. So a 3-hour murder mystery game, I don't think is too long. You know, as long as there's a good payoff at the end. Yeah, it's still being said they throw a new coat of paint on them. Yeah, and resell it. Yeah. I guess if it's established, fair enough. So there is a market for these type of murder mystery games. So again, it's just about... so the next stage on this one is to redo some of the cards with different clues on it. I also hand wrote some of the clues rather than type them out. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to make sure all the cards are typed, because I've got all my prototype cards as well. So I've done the whole game, obviously, because we played it. Oh, look, there's forensics. There's forensics. There's the forensics. But on some of them, I hand wrote them because I needed to put extra clues in. So I'm going to make sure they're all printed. So that is pretty much close to being play tested again. And I want to play test it at least 3 or 4 times before I pitch it out, before I send it out. How did Kenners get away with making family board games about horrific source material such as Jaws, especially Alien back in the 70s? I never understand. That is the beauty of growing up in the 70s. I grew up in I was born in the 70s. Yeah, late 70s, 80s was really my era as being a kid. We had Jaws, we had great games. So, you know, and it's just fun. It's not... But we didn't really know. I sort of was aware of the film Jaws because it was such a big hit. And I knew it was about a shark. But I never saw it. Of course I didn't see it. So for me, it wasn't scary. It's just fun. Jaws is like Buckaroo, basically, but the reverse. Buckaroo, you put all the stuff on the horse and then it bucks when it's too heavy. With Jaws, you're taking out all the stuff, all the garbage that is eaten, like fire extinguishers, tyres, I don't know, buoys. That's not B-O-Y-S, but B-O-U-G-H, if that's how you spell buoys. No, I don't know. Buoys in the sea, you know, stuff, debris, you know, planks of wood. You take them out and then it snapped shut when it was too light. So really, it's the same game, but just the reverse. Lawn darts, fantastic. You had Jaws. It was a great game. It was just the excitement of something snapping shut. It's brilliant. What shocked me in 1993 as a kid was bubblegum collectible cards of Alien 3 sold at milk bars in Australia. Absolutely. Why not? Do it. The thing is, though, this is my... Yes, certain things are not going to be appropriate. As long as they didn't see the film, I think that's fine, because just images aren't necessarily as horrific as watching a film, because you've got the music, you've got the acting, you've got all the atmosphere, and you really get immersed. As long as it's not too graphic, the images, obviously. I remember collecting the little cards for Flash Gordon. Who remembers Gordon's alive? Flash Gordon. And there's a James Bond actor turns up in Flash Gordon. Plus, there's a Blue Peter presenter turns up in Flash Gordon. Can anyone name which James Bond actor is in Flash Gordon? Don't look it up. And also, which Blue Peter, if you're in America, you might not know what Blue Peter was. That was a kids show. Huge kids show in the UK. It wasn't Sean Connery. It wasn't Sean Connery. It was, Jonathan's got it. It was Timothy Dalton. Yeah, he played like the prince of something. And he was very dashing in his green outfit. And he had a little pencil moustache. Oh, boom. It wasn't quite Mark Curry. Although Mark Curry does appear in a kid's film. It's a musical. Jonathan's got it again. It was Peter Duncan. Oh, yeah, and Sally's got it. Peter Duncan. Yeah, it was an early Peter Duncan. That's right. Connery plays Zaran or something. Zarzan. Yeah, so, that's that film I don't think I saw, but I watched it for my... I think I watched it for my YouTube channel, The Bottled Imp. Hello, Goggles, Nick. Yeah, doesn't he have that crisscross? Jonathan will know. Or Lee Rim will know. Peter Duncan, ex-Chief Scout. And soft porn. Yes, exactly. He did do a couple of soft porn. Yes, he had the sort of crisscross outfit, didn't he? I think he did that after Bond. Chief Scott. He was Chief Scots. He was the King of the Scots. Though I'd imagine they'd have skipped cards of scenes, yeah, where John hurt exactly, and eventually Sigourney Weaver started having stomach cramps after being French kissed by an alien. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get too graphic. Parents would absolutely throw a fit of letter writing. Yeah, it did in 90s. Well, interesting enough, it's only, obviously not all parents are that bothered. They're like, oh, that's fine. Some, though, would get really arsy about it, won't they? For example, when D&D started becoming popular, in America, some parents were really against it. They're raising the devil, it's terrible, you know, they're casting spells. Whereas it never really had that. We didn't get that over here in the UK. It wasn't a problem. We're used to it. We're an old country that has traditions and customs and, you know, folk tales about witches and magic and, you know, all of that. So for us, it was just like, it's just a kid's game. Duncan is a good name for Scottish king. Yeah, absolutely, Duncan is. I agree. My grandfather's name. Oh, is it? There you go. There you go. Yeah, so that was weird. And also, Fighting Fantasy, apparently Ian Livingstone says that one parent complained that they kept saying that, yeah, he was playing Fighting Fantasy, he levitated, or maybe it was Dungeons and Dragons, but it's like their child levitated off the ground. And Ian's like, yeah, brilliant publicity. We sold more books. You know, as a kid, you're like, I want to levitate. How do I play? Jonathan's put, do you remember the anti-D&D movie Mazes? Yeah, Mazes and Monsters, starring Tom Hanks. Yes. I haven't seen all of it, but I've watched Red Letter Media. I've watched, Red Letter Media, half in the bag, or, you know, Red Letter Media anyway, like, review it, and it's like, my God, that seems ridiculous. I was going to review that for the Bottled Imp YouTube channel, but we stopped doing that channel. The Slayer of Arch-Traitor Macbeth. Oh, yes, Duncan. Out of damn... What? Out damn spots. Yes, there we go. Ooh, very knowledgeable crowd here we have. You surprise me. Yep, I give insults as well. Anyway, look at that. We've been rambling on for an hour, and I do have to go and act in a murder mystery now. So, it's been a lot of fun. Really appreciated your feedback on the game and any suggestions that you may have given me. So, really appreciate that. And it makes a big difference. I know. I'm sorry, Raz. So, normally we start this at 10 a.m. UK time. I'm not sure exactly where you're in the States. And it normally lasts... I've advertised it as 45 minutes. I do ramble on. And also, you know, it's chatting to you guys, which I like. So sometimes it's an hour. I try to keep it to an hour. I think you might like Shakespeare versus Cthulhu. Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you know your Shakespeare, absolutely, Raz. So Jonathan has just written... Or am I putting you in it? No, he's just kickstarted Shakespeare versus Cthulhu. Presumably you can still back it if you want to. I'm always for chatting board game design. Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Yeah, well, look, you know, if you want to get in touch with me privately and you know, I don't know, we'll just see what we can help each other out with. Because I have gone through that experience now of coming up with a game, or, you know, coming up with ideas, or to help develop a game, to then pitch it, to then get it to market. You know, somebody actually wants to publish it. I'm very new still to all of this, so I'm no expert by any stretch of the means of the imagination. I'm getting mentored by Kedrick, but I have learnt something, so I'm kind of, you know, a little bit experienced. So, you know, I can just pass on my experience and what the big thing is. And also Kedrick's kind of learnt a little bit from me, because when we pitch, not only do we do a sell sheet, but now we record a how to play video. So rather than them read the rules, a lot of them will just click on the link to me doing a voiceover, just filming the cards saying, so, shuffle the cards. And I just have a picture of me shuffling the cards. Deal 5 out to each player, and I do that. And they're very basic. I haven't got any fancy lighting. Well, I have got a few lights, but it's very basic. You know, it's not like I've spent any money on the studio or anything like that. Well, I'm in a dungeon for a start. So you don't have to spend money on a video of how to play. You really don't, because they're not bothered. They really don't bother. As long as it's good sound and it's clear pictures, then it's fine. It doesn't have to be flash or moving graphics or anything like that. It's just to get the rules over it. That's basically it. So I think that's helped. Kedrick said that helps when you pitch as well. And also, yeah, so there we go. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because I've got to go. I've got to get ready. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun as always. My next... Let me go and get the game book. Ugh. Ooh. I'm just running off. I'm leaving you. Chat amongst yourself. There we go. There we go. So, we have been playing League of Thieves, Wednesdays, 6:30 PM UK time. Please join us. We do a live stream. It's a game book where you decide in the comments how the story unfolds. We've only done part 1. So if you want to watch part 1, we've put it up on the Edra Tales channel. And I have the Edra Tales YouTube channel. So if you want to go and watch it on YouTube instead of Twitch, you're more than welcome. But don't worry, because we'll catch you up. I do a little plot summary at the beginning. So yeah, so 6:30 UK time. Plus at 7 PM UK time, I do a video game playthrough. And this time, well, we've been doing this for a while now. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So there we go. Knock them, the audience, out. Bosh. So thank you, Alex. Thank you, Raz, for joining us for the first time. You're more than welcome. It'd be good, great to see you again. Thank you, Leerin. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Sally. Who else? I'm just looking through the comments. I think that was everybody that commented. Martha couldn't make it today. Hopefully, Martha, you've had a lovely time at the medieval festival that you've gone to. So there we go. Thank you, Alex. Yeah, thank you to everybody that watched that didn't comment. If you do want to comment, please click the follow button because it helps with the algorithms and it means you can comment. And thank you, Sally. Did I forget Sally? Oops. Thank you to Gocklesnook. Hey, take care, everybody. And remember, may the magic of stories flow through you always. See you later.